I've scaled the store past 100K this year alone, and I'm gonna show you exactly how you can make a bunch of money using Facebook ads. Now, as you can see, we've scaled the store past 140K since February to September 19th. So when it comes to meta ads, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I read the ads manager data and the steps that you need to take in order to scale and get as much as you possibly can out of Facebook. So let's get right into it. So the first step is most people think that 90% of the business is just about the product, when in reality, 90% of the business is about reading the data, understanding the KPI, the key performance indicators within a business, right? So, the KPIs are basically going to show you what's going wrong with your business and where you could improve. It's just an indicator at the end of the day. When your check engine light comes up on your car, it doesn't show you exactly what the problem is, but it shows you that there is a problem that you need to fix. And that's basically what a KPI is. Now, the other 9 to 10% of your business is about the products, the website, and stuff like that. But 90% of the business is understanding how to read the data on your ads manager and knowing what to do based on data and not off of emotion or a feeling, right? So let's get right into it. So there's a few things that we want to look at. There's soft ad metrics and there's hard ad metrics. The soft ad metrics are going to show you more about the creative side of things, the actual ads themselves, your audience and stuff like that. Well, the hard ad metrics are going to show you, how much money you're pulling in, how to acquire customers at a higher percentage, and have them also spend more money on your website. So let's hop right into it. So the first soft ad metric is going to be your CPC, right? Your cost per click. How much does it cost to actually get a click onto your website, right? Your CPC is very important because it's going to dictate how well your ads are actually performing, right? So ideally, I like to see my CPC anywhere below $1.50. If your CPC is above $1.50, you need to go back and test some better creatives, right? So your CPC is going to dictate how well your ad creatives are actually performing. The next data point that I look at is my CTR, which is my click-through rate. At what rate are people clicking through onto my website? I like to ideally see my CTR above a 2%. Anything below a 2% means that you have bad creatives. You need to add better call to actions, maybe better social proof, things like that to make sure that people are clicking through onto your website from your ads. So your CPC and your CTR are going to dictate how well your ads are actually performing. Ideally, CPC should be below $1.50 and CTR should be above a 1.5%. If it's not, you need to add better hooks, you need to add better social proof, put your viewer into a problem state, offer your product as a solution, and have a call to action inside of your ads as well. Now, the next data point that I look at is your CPM. Now, this is not a data point that I look at too heavily. Your CPM doesn't really matter. Like if you're marketing to the United States, you're obviously going to have a higher CPM than somebody that markets to, say New Zealand or the Netherlands or something like that. But if you're getting like a really low CPC and your CPM is somewhat high, especially if you're targeting the United States, that's okay. As long as your CPC and your CTR are really dialed in, then your CPM doesn't really matter. Or if you want to target a different country and get a lower CPM with a lower CPC and a lower CTR, that also might work as well. Now, the next data point that I look at is my hook rate, right? Ideally like to see my hook rate above a 50%, which basically means that your viewer is staying and watching the entire video. Your hook rate basically means that a viewer stays and watches past 3 seconds of your video. If you're not seeing a 50% higher on your hook rate, you need to go back and make better hooks. Your CPC wouldn't matter, your CTR don't matter if they don't even finish watching the video or don't watch at least half of the video. So your hook rate is very important. I like to see that above a 50% because if your hook rate isn't above a 50%, they're not watching the rest of the video. Therefore, they're not clicking onto your website and they're definitely not purchasing. So making sure that you have really, really good, strong hooks is going to help reduce your CPC and help increase your CTR. And finally, the last data point that I look at is my hold rate. People that view more than 50% of the video, right? I look at the video views. So the hold rate is going to show you how much people are watching your video past 50%, right? So if people are, clicking away at 20% of the video they watched or 40% of the video they watched, they're not really going to click onto your website. So making sure that you have engaging content and copywriting that's actually going to engage the viewer, keep them curious, and keep them watching the video to the end. If you don't have a 25% hold rate, which basically means at least 25% of your viewers are watching more than 50% of your video, videos, then you need to go back and make some better creatives. So basically these soft ad metrics are gonna dictate how well your ads are actually performing. So your soft ad metrics are basically the gates or the doorways into your business. So let's go over your hard ad metrics. The first hard ad metric is your conversion rate, your CVR. At what rate are people actually converting on your website? I ideally like to see a conversion rate anywhere above a 3%. If your conversion rate is above a 3%, you're golden. And if it's not, you need to go back, add a better offer, add better product images, better branding, better copy, scarcity and FOMO, making sure that your cart is fully dialed in, that you have good shipping and stuff like that to make sure that you help increase that conversion rate. I ideally like to see a conversion rate above a 3%. Now, the next data point that I look at is my ATC or my add to carts. Ideally, I like to see one add to cart for every $10 that I spend. That shows that you have good buying intent, and you could always retarget those abandoned add to carts via email and SMS marketing. Now, the next data point that I look at is my add to cart to purchase rate. I ideally like to see that above 25% from people that actually add the product to your cart versus actually purchasing the product. I like to see that jump above a 25%. The next data point that I look at is my AOV or my average order value. I ideally like to see my AOV a 2x above my break-even price, right? So if my break-even price is $30, I like to see my average order value about $60, which is gonna help ensure that you have good profit margins. You can do this by adding bundles, upsells, and combining different products that are in your niche and upselling that with the product that you're already selling. And then finally, the last data point that I look at is my AOV to LTV, which is how much is people actually spending on my website versus how much do they actually bring via their lifetime, right? So LTV is just lifetime value of a customer. So you're gonna increase this by having a repeat customer. You're going to increase this by having good email and SMS marketing and helping them spend more money on your website for a longer period of time. You don't want them spending $80 on your website just one time. You want them spending $80 on your website every single month. So having good email marketing and good SMS marketing is going to help increase your LTV. And these are the metrics that I look at when I'm scaling these big brands to past 100K, even to the 7-figure mark. These are the exact frameworks and blueprints that I follow to help scale these brands. So making sure that you understand each data point in the business and knowing what to do if they're not performing. For example, CPC, CTR is going to dictate your creatives. CVR, ATC, AOV is going to show your back-end stuff. So making sure you have bundles, good upsells, a high converting website, and things like that. So that's exactly how I scale stores past 100K. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you found value in this video. Leave your feedback in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.